Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Yes, it went right to my iPhone. This is, and I'm going to turn off this heater. This is not going to be a long show, but I haven't really been streaming because I didn't get back from Pork Fest till like 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And then I was just beat. And I had ballot access committee meeting on Tuesday. And I thought I had a convention oversight committee meeting on Wednesday, but I didn't. But I just slept. I was so freaking tired. Tonight I have a bylaws committee meeting in about 40 minutes. So this will be the final LP News coverage, but we already did all of this. Is all just bonus stuff for May, June. Yeah, I have a heater, Casey, because I'm in the basement. My little studio, I know it looks like it's like a really finished room and stuff. It's just a little corner in the basement. An unfinished basement with no heat or anything. So I've got a little heater down here. I'm still a Florida girl, no matter how long I've been in Colorado. So we're just going to go through some of the things that I highlighted here. And we're going to go to newspapers.com and see if we can find some of this. But speaking of this, do the YouTube stuff. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It really does help me. But most of all, if you could consider becoming a Patreon. That helps pay for things like my newspapers.com subscription, in which I do a lot of historical research, and it's actually not cheap. It used to be somewhat cheap, but it's not cheap anymore. And of course, super thanks, super chats, those all matter. And I'm going to be gone again, and I did not anticipate this, but I am going to be gone for Freedom Fest, because there was a volunteer opportunity, so I'm able to get in for free as a volunteer, but I'll be helping out with a booth the entire time. And if you all remember that Southwest debacle, that nightmare they put me through and going to Oregon, well, I'm using my voucher to get to Tennessee, so it's pretty wonderful that I get to go to Freedom Fest. But that's July 12th, so I'm leaving again in like 2 weeks. And I was already getting really homesick at Pork Fest. I was there one day too long. I didn't leave till Monday. If I had left on Sunday, I think I would have been fine. But by Monday, I was ready to be home. Missed my husband, missed my dogs. Apparently my dogs were in mourning as well. But on Monday, boy, did I have a beautiful scenic drive through New Hampshire. There are a bunch of Pork Fest videos on my channel, so it's not like there hasn't been any content. It just hasn't been this kind of content. So, again, Patreon, I really, really could appreciate, I would appreciate your support. JJ, I'm trying to slip one in before the bylaws committee meeting, because also I'm going camping this weekend. So there will not be shows all weekend again, though I might film some on my camping trip and upload them. But we're leaving, butt crack of dawn tomorrow. Going to be gone Friday night, Saturday night. Going to get back in time, right in time for the LNCE meeting on Sunday. So Monday is going to be my next possible show, but I'll probably record some content. I'll bring Michael Malice's book with me and do some of that bonus content for patrons over the weekend. And hola, H. Reardon. Okay, so to the things I circled. I am going to be picking up this book because I found it super cheap, which is back when the Republican Party was getting revitalized in preparation for the run of Ronald Reagan, called The Making of the New Majority Party. Just interested in reading it, not because I give a flying, can't curse this early in the show, about the Republicans. I'm just interested in political history. But let's start to look up some of these things, and I want to show you what I do when I'm doing some of this research. So we're going to take the comment screen down. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, August 4th through 5th in Virginia, I am the headline speaker at Anarchon, which is super exciting to me. To be I've been a keynote speaker at a bunch of different things, at LP things, and of course that's a freaking honor. But this is just a general liberty event, and it's an anarchist specific event, and it's just unbelievable to me that I would be considered to be a headline anarchist speaker. So that's super, super exciting. NSA, I'm a pacifist. Please don't put me on a no-fly list. I'm the most peaceful anarchist I think you'll ever meet in your life. I shoo spiders out of the house. Okay, I'm taking off this screenshot. Cove Hill, I think. If you go to Anarchon, ANARCON, I think it's .com. I should have that. Well, let's look it up when I'm taking the comments off the screen, but I am going to, I'm going to go to, give me 1 second. I'm going to screen share here what the research we're going to do. So you all should be seeing my screen now, which is, that's The Making of a New Majority Party. It's a book I'm going to get, but that's not what I wanted to look at. What I wanted to look at here, we're going to be doing some newspapers.com research, but let's look up Anarchon while we're here. So it is, we'll accept that. And look, the honey badger is the mascot. So how perfect is that for me? Honey badger, don't give a shit. Let's see. Look, grab your camping gear, bathing suits, favorite guns. Oh, God. The Cove in Gore, Virginia. So the Cove Campground, and it's a private campground. So this should be super, super fun. And they don't charge for booths. So if you want to have a booth there, you just need to write them and reserve a spot. This seems super, super exciting. So that's Anarchon. Let's go over to, and keep reminding me to promote this. I promised that I would, and I am super excited about it. So I think I want to try to, I think I can do this a little differently. Anyway, let's go back to here for a second. I still haven't learned this program. I don't want you all to be looking like at a dumb screen while I'm saying what we're going to be looking at. So what we're going to be looking up is there's some letters to the editor. And we had noted, we read the one that won the prize, but there were runner-ups. So we're going to see if we can find these runner-up letters by Bill Stanley, James Jerry Jones, and Ronald Dara. So if you've never used newspapers.com, it actually is a really fun subscription to have. So what we're going to look up is these names. So the first one is Bill Stanley. So Bill Stanley, and it said it was printed in the Thousand Oaks News Chronicle. That might not even be a paper that, this is 1975-ish. That might not even be a paper that is in this database. So first, let's just see how many. Oh, so there's 1,000. So let's see if we can find this newspaper. So let's see. Thousand Oaks. Star. I wonder if maybe that used to be called the News Art. So let's just see if we see anything for him. Let's look up Bill Stanley and also Libertarian and see if that pulls up anything. Yep, it looks like we found it. Thousand Oaks Star, it's now called, but it used to be called something different. So let's take a look at this letter of Bill Stanley's. Oh, he's just correcting articles. So this might not be the letter to the editor. It's just some corrections. So that doesn't really look like what we were looking for. So let's go back and see if there's any other. One was on October. Oh, October 14th is way too late. But May 19th or February 7th might be it. Let's look at this one. Yeah, letters. We found it. Okay. So let's see what Bill Stanley had to say. Ooh, dogs murdered. I don't like that. Okay, so it looks like he's talking about a bond issue. So I'm not so sure this is something we want to read out loud. I'm just flipping through it. Okay, so it's about a bond issue. Yeah, Cal is the one who invited me. All right, so that letter, I'm not too interested in that one. It's very time-bound. Let's see what he wrote. But Bill Stanley was quite the prolific writer. Park bond misleading, Libertarian charges. So this is all about a bond issue. Oh, this is pretty funny. He said, they'll the taxes will be lower the first year, but you don't say anything about the next 24 years it will take to pay off the bond. It doesn't bother you to mislead the public, and I'm going to stay here, so you can't say that I misrepresented you. Interesting. So a nice ornery libertarian. I always like that. And, you know, writing letters can really help. So let's see if we can find the next one, which is James Jerry Jones in the Idaho Statesman. So let's look up this one. So we got James Jerry Jones and oh, it messed me up. Okay, need to type that again. James Jerry Jones and Idaho Statesman. And we want 1975. Well, it put up Bill Stanley again. Why did it do that? Let me try James Jerry Jones again. Okay, let's try doing it this way. Yes. Okay, but this letter was much earlier. It was May 2nd. So let's see. Nope, his letter is not in there, but it looks like he wrote some other ones. So let's see what we got here. He was the vice chair of the Libertarian Party of Idaho. Okay. Well, these they were certainly getting some news, but that isn't the one we were looking for. So let's try to look up the last one, which is Ronald L. Dara in the Indianapolis Star. So Ronald L. Dara. First, we're going to search this way. He won't be in Idaho, but it keeps messing me up. So we're going to do... There he is, though. Oh, it's already pulling up. That must be an uncommon enough name. So it said it was in the May 22nd. So this looks like it right here. He urges the obscenity law repeal, it looks like. So let's see what we got here. The Libertarian Party of Indiana and the LP National are opposed to censorship and mind control, no matter what the guise, and we hope that others will join us to repeal that statute that was going on at that time. Okay, so we actually found quite a bit of these. But if you remember, the state parties were getting a lot of news at the time. So we're just going to see what we can find. It says a photograph of some mannequin in a coffin was in the Arkansas Gazette. That seems like it could be interesting. So let's see if we can find that. So going back, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Need to go back to my screen here. Let's go back, and we want to look for, let's just, coffin might appear a lot, but let's see. Arizona Gazette. Let's see if we can find this picture. Nothing. I wonder if there's some other keyword I can look for. It says John Q. Public. So let's look up that. John Q. Public. Nope. So it says that was in the Arizona Gazette, but I'm not finding it. see if there's anything else of interest here. LPers sheared a live sheep to underscore the message of National Tax Protest Day. And in the words of the Denver Post, won the battle of attention ratings. Okay, let's see if we can find the Denver Post. That seems like it can be a good one. So back over to newspapers.com. So we're going to look up here, because I'm pretty sure the Denver Post is in here. Denver Post. Wow, the Denver Post isn't in newspapers. Oh, let's look up more. Denver Post isn't in newspapers.com. That's crazy. That's a big newspaper. Let's try that again. Denver. Oh, am I typing it wrong? I don't want John Q. Public. So, newspapers. Colorado Statesman. No, I don't want that. Colorado Statesman was a much smaller paper. How do they not have the Denver Post in here? That is crazy. Okay, well, we're not going to be able to find that one. I'm going to see just if there's anything else super interesting in here. It sometimes is a long shot. So let's look for some of these others. And I don't know if any of these others will actually be in here. So an Illinois couple that sued federal narcotics agents for damages from a mistaken raid. So let's see if we can find this. So we're going to look up federal narcotics. I probably don't want to capitalize that. Narcotics agents, then 1975, Illinois. Yep, it looks like this is part of it right here, the dispatch, February. That would be our time frame. So let's see what we got here. No, that doesn't look like it. That's a hijacking. So let's look up lawsuit. Add to that. Yep, looks like it's right here. So I want to take that little highlight off. It says Kate McShane has a case out of recent newspaper headlines when federal narcotics agents staged a raid on the wrong house. The man of the house kills one of the agents, not knowing who he is. Unfortunately, an intriguing plot becomes contrived when drugs are planted in the man's house by an agent and believability goes out the window. Wow. Okay, well, that's some corrupt crap that was going on back then. So unfortunately, we couldn't find a lot on some of these things, but sometimes we really hit pay dirt. But when I come back, and perhaps even Monday, we are going to start on, so this was, what month again? May, June 75. So we'll be doing July, August 75 upon my return. Depending on how the bylaws committee meeting goes tonight, I'm pretty tired after those. There's a little bit more of some Matt Walsh clips I want to do. I might come back on and take care of those. Excuse me, I drink my Mountain Dew too fast. I'm going to